All right, Avengers Infinity War. I'm going to make this a really breezy review because I really enjoyed it. Now, to get into Infinity War, what is it? It's the third entry in the Avengers film, and to see it, you have to have seen really every other Marvel movie. The Marvel Cinematic Universe started in 2008 with Iron Man, and ever since, it's been climbing. Sorry, that was my phone. Notifications. But yeah, Infinity War has just been built from the start. It's like imagine you had Empire Strikes Back 22 films before it. That's how amazing it would be because you have all this tension. You have all these characters built throughout many different films. Some have appeared in some of their solo films. They've appeared in team-up movies. There's been Captain America Civil War, a big team-up movie. There's been the Avengers movies, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, team-up movies. There's individual ones, Black Panther, Ant-Man. Now they all factor together to make one big event movie. And I really liked Infinity War. I thought it was a really ambitious and neat flick. I thought there are things they could have done differently. They could have done things better, for sure, but it was good. I think that the use of nostalgia, the use of character set pieces like Wakanda, I thought the opening was amazing. This film opens with an assault on Thor's ship. It just gets right into the action. So if you've seen Thor Ragnarok, you will know exactly where this starts because that film ends with Thor's ship being intercepted by Thanos. So there's a lot of personal investment here. If you enjoy these movies, I think you're really going to like Infinity War. I think the action sequences are really inspired. There's an early scene in Central Park where Tony Stark and Peter Parker and the Hulk, but he's not the Hulk, he's Bruce Banner. They fight a bunch of aliens sent by Thanos, and it's fun. It's fun because it's campy, but it knows it's campy. And that's where the Marvel films have succeeded in not trying to do things too seriously. So for this film to really work, it needs to just have a good time with its characters. It needs to be able to just not take itself too seriously, but at the same time realize how popular they've become. Because think about it. Spider-Man's a guy who can shoot webs out of his hand. Iron Man is a dude who built basically a robot suit. There's the Guardians of the Galaxy, which are mainly aliens and some humans, but they have managed to turn this into a somewhat realistic scenario where they can all go to another planet, take off their helmets, and they can all breathe. And it works because the film just explains it like, oh, they have oxygen on this planet. And they've also done such a well job of world building over the years that I can really believe their story. I can believe what the Russos are telling me. Like when you see Scarlet Witch and Vision in a hotel room, and I'm not just thinking this is soap opera-y romance. I believe it because they've kind of had this relationship developing over the past films. I think of this one, they just go full out into them banging in a hotel room, but they've built up to this slowly. It doesn't really feel so campy, because it is. It's very campy. The final battle sequence, too, is what this film all leads up to. It's a lot of fun tension. This whole movie is very tense because you're just wondering. Thanos is collecting the stones. The whole movie he's collecting stones to build his Infinity Gauntlet. And once he collects all 6, he can have complete power over the universe. He can do whatever he wants. So the pacing here is great. I loved it. The problems are very minimal. I think it just could have had more seriousness with certain characters like Rocket Raccoon and Thor. I mean, I think I'm really going on a limb here to nitpick because I enjoyed it. It just could have taken itself a little more seriously at some dramatic parts instead of constantly needing to throw in jokes. But I was a fan of the jokes because I think it adds levity, makes the kids able to enjoy it, and it's a fun movie. I know some film critics disliked it and thought it was everything I didn't like about film superhero movies, is what one critic actually said, and I completely disagree, because for the Marvel films, this is what they've all been leading up to almost, and it does feel like the epic Marvel event film, as you just get to see all your heroes, your favorite heroes you've grown up loving and paying attention to, fighting a bad guy. And there's some really cool dynamics in there. The film's ending too is pretty cool. I was a fan. I should have, and I will openly say, I did not know how they would do it. I had read somewhere that where the film would end, it ended. But I was pretty surprised and I was pretty happy because I thought it was a ballsy move. I was not crying. I was not one of these bitches crying about the final movie because I know in a year we're going to get to see all this, all the resolve of the film. But for being a one-parter, being Empire Strikes Back, that whole where are the heroes going to go with this, what's going to happen. I thought it did a decent job. As again, as cookie cutter as it can be, it really brought great out of the cast. They were awesome. I bet they shot all this stuff first because before Endgame, because the cast really seems to be giving their all and they really seem to be having fun with it compared to the sequel. But Infinity War will always be one of my favorite Marvel movies because I think it was just a really successful film, and it just shows if you do everything right, if you direct it well, the Russos did a great job. You can really have a fun, entertaining movie. Unlike Rise of the Skywalker, this was completely cohesive, this was fun, and I understood everything. So, Avengers Infinity War is a great movie. I love it.